Believe it or not, it is actually possible to have an argument and it become a healthy discussion. I know it sounds absolutely absurd, but in this episode of Anger Help Today, I'm going to share with you how to argue in a healthy way. This is Anger Help Today, and I'm Dr. Reggie. Hey, welcome back to today's episode. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment down below if you find any helpful content from this video. So in this episode, we're going to talk about how to argue in a healthy way. Now, we've all been in arguments that have spiraled out of control. Whatever the reason is, these can leave us feeling completely emotionally drained and altogether upset. You can avoid all of this negativity and even get better outcomes by learning how to argue in a healthy way, by avoiding escalation and learning how to actually resolve conflicts in positivity. So I want to offer you a few tips and tricks in this episode so that you can discover better ways to allow your arguments to become more healthy and productive, and how to communicate better with your friends, coworkers, and loved ones. And here's point number one. Remember that arguing is actually normal. You see, arguing is a part of everyday life, and it's not always a bad thing. Arguing can actually be healthy because it can create a moment for you to express your true feelings and also to come to a reasonable resolution. However, the reverse is also true. Arguments can become unhealthy when there's too much heat and when damage can occur that can actually have permanent, lasting effects in that relationship. And here's number two. Try to avoid escalation. One of the best ways to keep an argument healthy is to avoid escalation. Try not to say things that are going to cause the other person to feel even more upset. For example, if you're arguing about who should do the dishes, avoid insults and disrespecting others. Instead, try to stay calm and focused on the issue at hand. Don't use harmful words or insults, and avoid raising your voice as well. If you notice that your voice is beginning to get louder, take a deep breath and calm down. Now, I know you hear a lot of counselors and psychologists talking about taking a deep breath and counting to 10 and all of that. Why is that necessary? Well, very simply because of the fight or flight syndrome that we all have. You see, we are wired to protect ourselves when we feel a sense of threat or danger. Now, protection can look like one of two things: staying there and fighting it out, or taking flight, getting removed from the situation. Well, when we have a sense of fear or threat, what happens is that our brain sends the blood down to our extremities, our fists, our legs, our muscles. You may notice that your teeth begin to clench, your fists begin to ball up. You may notice that you begin, as they say, to get swole up. Well, what's happening is that your brain is now sharing blood with your body parts to help the body defend itself because of the sense of threat or fear that is happening. Well, think about what that really means. When you're angry, you're operating off of less brain than when you're calm, which is why we often will say things that lead to threatened and frustrated predicaments. So you want to avoid saying things that are going to escalate the situation. Also avoid ultimatums and making threats because they only worsen the argument. Also remember this, friends, you also don't want to say anything that you're going to regret later. because saying things that you're going to regret later can often lead to fear and lead to a lack of trust in that relationship. Because when you threaten and when you give ultimatums, it says to the other individual that you don't think that they're worthy of being around or really continuing any type of relationship with. And often we say things that we do not mean in those heated moments. You want to also focus on the issue. When you're in an argument, staying focused on the issue is essential. Avoid bringing up other issues that are unrelated to the current discussion. Only talk about the current issue and don't bring up past arguments or past points or past fights. For example, if you're arguing about your partner not doing their part, well, don't bring up, and you also don't take out the trash, because it will make the argument more confusing and it will also cause even more conflict to build up between the two of you. So try to stay calm and focused. It's challenging to stay on topic when you're feeling upset, but it is so important that you make every possible effort to try to do so. Be specific about what you're upset about. For example, instead of saying "you never" or "you always," you can rephrase that by saying, "when this happens, I feel this way." And using I statements instead of "you never" or "you always" will always help your partner to understand your logic and your feelings. And after all, isn't that what we all want? More productive discussions. Hey, I hope you got something out of this video. Please leave a comment. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that thumbs up. Make sure that you click that bell notification so you're notified every time new content is loaded. This is Anger Help Today, and I'm Dr. Reggie.